What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, my good people? This is your girl, Miss Good News, and your boy, Synphany of Synphanymedia.
Yeah, how you doing?
The multimedia director here at Livingstone College. Y'all, we have a guest in the building. Man, I'm so excited. Okay, so we have a doctor in the building. This is educational purposes, so y'all come on, grab your seats because we're gonna go on a trip. Okay, we're gonna go on a trip. We got Dr. Darryl Baynes in the building. Hello, welcome, sir.
Hello, how are you? Wonderful to be here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm gonna let you formally, because I was gonna do the whole reading, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the president, the CEO, let them know your company.
My company is Interactive Science Programs. We are one of the largest science and math outreach companies in the nation, owned and operated by African Americans.
Wow.
So we go around the schools and we blow stuff up.
You hear that, man? That sounds interesting.
Business was doing well until COVID hit.
Right.
So right before COVID hit, I was fortunate enough to get a full-time teaching position in Rowan County schools.
Right,
so
right.
now I do my blow-up stuff on the side.
Right.
Until COVID is gone, then maybe we can get back to where I was.
Yeah, so we let this man blow some stuff up the right way, the healthy way, teaching people, because I know I met you at my mother's restaurant, Belly Soul Food Diner, and you were telling me about how you were going to Charlotte, Mecklenburg. Didn't they, what happened? What was the situation there? I think they were...
I did a program at a Charlotte Mecklenburg school over the summer.
Right.
So that the people who run science could come and see what I do. So we're still talking.
Right, right.
Just to see what happens. I've also talked to the people who run Rowan County schools, the new superintendent.
Right.
Nothing much has come of it, but I just keep moving along. I don't have to worry about that.
He planting them seeds, y'all, because it's going to take root and it's going to blow, you know, like the star that you was telling me about. You planted the seeds, you done the work already, and what's happening is already happening. We'll see it in the future, though. It'll come to light, right?
Yep, thank you.
So tell us, why did you even start the program? I know you said that there's a desperate need, a dire need for scientists, and, you know, like you said, that there's not enough based on the future, the needs that we're gonna need more scientists.
Absolutely.
And the people that we have now is not gonna cover that need. So we need more people.
I've been doing this for 30 years. So
right.
Even when I started, there was a shortage of African Americans in science and math, technology, engineering, and women.
Right.
So we started the company first as Minority Aviation Education Association, trying to get more African Americans, women into aviation. I'm also a pilot.
Right.
But then I'm like, it's easier to pull all of the sciences, and then some of them will go towards aviation, but all of the sciences. So then we started MAEA, Interactive Science Programs. Then we just dropped the MAEA, Minority Aviation Education Association part, and it's just interactive science programs.
Right,
so it's descriptive of what we do.
Right, okay.
My whole thing is to get kids, parents, teachers excited about science, so they want to teach in a different way that keep kids interested.
That's right.
And so when I'm teaching, I'm doing as much for the adults and the parents as I am for the kids, because a lot of adults don't understand this. Just like when you were excited about me talking about the stars.
Right,
a lot of adults don't understand how that works.
Wow. So you definitely have to grab people's attention to get this, because it's a foreign language to a lot of people. Science is a foreign language. And
but that's only because it was taught by someone who didn't understand how to say it in the right way.
Right.
You know, it's really pretty simple.
Right.
Just simple ideas. And then once you make that connection, then you see how it's connected to our everyday life. I'll give you a quick example. Let's say you have an ice cube tray, and you fill your ice cube tray with water, and you put it in the freezer. Are the ice cubes bigger, smaller, or the same size when they come out as the amount of water you put in?
Oh, maybe bigger.
They're
bigger.
Say, yeah. Absolutely, they're bigger. That tells you that when water turns to ice, it expands.
Right.
That's what frostbite is. Your body's mostly made of water. If those cells freeze, they're going to expand, break the cell apart, send a message to your brain that says, I've been burned. Freezer burn, same thing.
Right.
Breaks the cell apart.
Breaks the skin apart. Wow. Look at that, Synphany.
Oh, man, I'm just in awe right now.
I know. It's so much, y'all. It's so much. I love learning. Learning is definitely a need in this world for everybody, because I've even heard that once we learn new things, there's lights and connections that go off in our brain.
Absolutely.
And that's what's happening right now. Bing, 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 bing. It's sparking right now. So let us know about the new thing that just happened with the whole world. We all should be in tune with this.
The new space telescope that went up.
Yes.
So
James Webb.
What's
right?
happening is now we had the Hubble Space Telescope.
Right.
The James Webb Telescope is 100 times more powerful than the Hubble Space Telescope. And one of the parameters of the James Webb Telescope is that it needs to be kept very, very cold because it is looking for infrared. It's looking for heat. So they need to have it in an orbit where it's really, really cold and can't be hit by the sun.
Right,
So
right.
it's going to be 1 million miles away from us. It's going to be out further from us than the moon is.
Man.
Oh boy.
That I mean, listen. If y'all hadn't heard, it was on the news, and Dr. B, I call him Dr. B, Dr. Baynes. Okay, he said, "Listen, we need to talk about this," and we do because this is the thing. If we don't, as African Americans, don't start to, and not saying that we don't, but if we do not start to engage in the things that's going on in the world, we will always be in the back. We won't have a part in educating more people about it, and we'll always have to wait for the information to come to us before we know, instead of being in the know with everybody else. And so this thing took off 4 days ago, a $10 billion project that they've been working on for 20 years.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this.
20 years.
Synphany, did you know?
Yeah, I mean, actually,
20
I did,
years?
because I'm one of those science people that I actually get into it and I
he's a
start
brother geek.
studying.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
And then my man said he was a pilot also. I flew a few times. I flew on at the private airport here in Salisbury, and I've been very fortunate, and that made me want to be an astronaut and all this stuff. I'm a little older, but I still feel like it could be possible. And if not, then I just want to be around people who can do it, like yourself.
Well, right
So,
now,
I'm
NASA
excited.
is looking for people to go to Mars is the next place where we're going to go. But before Mars, they may set up a space station on the moon
Right.
to
okay.
practice how they're going to live on Mars.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
But if you go to Mars, as of right now, it's a one-way trip. You
I
ain't
just
coming
got to
back.
talk to my wife about
you're
that.
not coming back. Why can't you come back?
Because the idea is once you get there, you don't have enough fuel to break Mars' gravity to get off of Mars to get back.
Oh.
So if you want to come back, they have to figure out how to make fuel that's there because they can't take it with them.
Oh, okay.
So they need smart people that once they get there to troubleshoot and figure out how to get back, like a movie.
Right. So they're sending probes there to make sure what they have. Then while here on Earth, they can figure out how to use what's there to do what they want, like, make food, things like that. So when you look at the movie The Martian, that movie was not really correct. Because the gravity on Mars is different than the gravity here on Earth. You couldn't just walk around like Mark Wahlberg was.
Right.
You couldn't do that on Mars because the gravity's not the same.
Right.
So that wasn't right.
Well, that's a whole new normal. I guess this would be the perfect time to get somebody up there because everything that you know is changing right now. So there is just new things happening all around us. So let's get back into this whole James Webb Telescope versus the Hubble. Like you were saying, it needs to be cool because I heard that they have to wait for about 6 months before they're going to be able to.
So they got to wait until it gets to where it should be in orbit.
Right.
And then they will open up the glass panels, the mirrors that constitute all of the information coming in, and they're looking for infrared, so then they have to put up a big shield to protect it from the sun and from itself.
Right.
So they don't want the telescope picking up heat signals from the telescope itself. So they got a shield that'll block all of that off.
Wow.
Makes
so
sense.
what is this thing gonna do for us? What if it can see 100 times better than the Hubble? And what? Tell the people. Somebody is saying right now. They saying, what that mean?
Okay.
Tell them what that means.
This is how this works. Let's start from the beginning. If you walk outside and you look up in the sky at night, you will see the stars. Okay? Those stars that you were seeing on that day, the light you were seeing left those stars hundreds, sometimes thousands of years ago, and is just getting here now. So you are looking backwards in time.
Wow.
When you walk outside and you see the sunlight on the pavement, that sunlight you were seeing is 8 minutes old. It's actually 8.22, but it's 8 minutes old.
Wow.
And the sun is 93 million miles away from us. So it takes the light from the sun 8.22 minutes to get here because it's so far away. That's moving at the speed of light.
Wow.
right? So
Wow.
let's say on your 30th birthday, you go to an observatory and you say, show me the planet Arcturus. And they show you Arcturus. And this is just an example. I don't know exactly how many light years away Arcturus is. But they show you this star and they say, this is the planet Arcturus. And then you could say, the light that I'm seeing right now left that star the day I was born and is just getting here now.
Wow.
Because it would be 35 light years away.
So I guess that whole saying, there's nothing new under the sun, is literal.
Yes.
Correct.
And
like
a
nothing
light
new.
year is a distance, not a time. A distance,
A light year is a distance and not a time.
not a time.
Nuggets. He's dropping nuggets.
I would sit in your class.
Well, most people like my class because we're always doing something.
Oh my
It's
god.
always,
You was that favorite science teacher.
Yep.
I'm telling
Right.
you.
Right now, my mind is racing like, what in the world? So they are saying, right? And what you're saying is with this new telescope, they're going to be able to see closer to the origin of that thing.
of the Big Bang. They hope that they will be able
Wow.
to see further backwards in time. Yes.
Wow. Because the light leaves like a lasting impression, like truly leaves a lasting impression. So
Well,
you
because
can
the
trail
space
it
is
back.
so big and it takes so long for the light to move that when they see it, they are literally looking backwards in time. So if you look at a star now, the star may not literally be there, but the light of it blowing up hasn't gotten here yet, so you don't know that. You're looking backwards in time. So your eyes are time machines.
Man, our eyes are time machines.
Yep.
Man. Wow.
This is great. So let me ask you a question. So I read a little bit about you, and you did some stuff for the school systems and everything. Do you have any plans to do curriculums or break into teaching a new form of science?
Well, one of the things I've done is I've created curriculum and hands-on science experiments for all of the North Carolina science standards for grades 6 through 12.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Now, again, I haven't found exactly where I'm going to implement them yet. I don't give them to people,
Right.
because I'm not going to give away my intellectual property.
There you
Right.
go.
You want my
That's right.
intellectual property, you want to pay for it.
That's right. That's right.
So
Rightfully so.
I do what I do in my classroom for my kids, but I do all of that on my personal machine. I don't use the school district's computers, because I don't want them to have access to my material.
But this is so important, and I'm glad that you're here on this platform here at Livingstone College. This is the HBCU, and the fact that this interactive science program was made, like you said, because the lack of African American in science. We need this, like we need it, and we understand too that people and children learn different. Some people learn better with music than they do just sitting there for 2 hours and you talking, and they have no idea of the words that you said. They need a dictionary while you talking, but that's not what we get from you. We get
Right. And I
examples.
would love to work with an HBCU because my thing is to make it full circle.
Right.
I came here to Livingstone and I did one of my science presentations in the auditorium. Okay? So
Yes.
I want to make sure that continues. So what I would do, for example, if I was here, is we would set up a outreach office and I would train people here on campus to do the same thing so that even after I'm gone, the legacy continues and they get
Right.
to go and do stuff out in other schools.
Right.
Then once we got it down pat, then we teach other HBCUs how to do the same thing
Right.
in their area so that everybody where there's an HBCU gets that impact.
Right. Because people can't really say that, oh, I don't like science if you never engaged and you really never had a fair chance to have it explained to you. And I mean, because even on your interview, because you go to these, what is it called? Not like the Science
The
Fest.
USA
and-
Science and Engineering Festivals.
Yes, that's amazing. Like, can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, it used to happen every 2 years in Washington, D.C.
Right.
But COVID put a stop to that. And except for the first one, every year they have it. They bring me in to present.
Right.
So I do a big stage presentation, and then I do interviews and things like that.
Right.
What they've been doing is doing festivals online.
Right. Okay.
So if you go to USA Science and Engineering Festival, I'm on their website.
Right.
So you'll see me online. But it's not the same as seeing somebody in person, feeling the explosion,
Right.
or seeing what liquid nitrogen feels like, or things like that. It's not the
Right.
same online You can dissect as many digital frogs as you want. It's not the same as cutting a frog open.
Right, you're right. That's true. Because I don't want to do that. But I think I missed that class. And so, what do you hope for? Like, even with this project, I know like the understanding of why you even started this was for African Americans, and even like you said, it's not just for African Americans, but that was a piece of the puzzle. But this is for everybody. What are your hopes for this interactive science program?
My hope is to establish a relationship with an institution that can buy the company from me and keep it going.
Oh, wow.
Because it's a revenue generator, whether it's a college.
Right.
I'm also talking to some other institutions in Charlotte.
Right.
It can be big and be a moneymaker for them and a positive thing for the school districts and for the people.
It sounds like a win-win situation to me. The science behind that is pretty simple. I get that. It's a win-win situation. So, may the best man win.
But when you show people how science is connected to their everyday life, it makes a big difference.
It does.
Right. So we just talked about when water turns to ice, it expands.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm from Philadelphia, up north. Up north, we have a lot of potholes. Where do the potholes come from? Think about what we talked about.
Oh, I know.
What you got?
I know this one.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, so when the water gets down in the pothole or even in the cracks, it expands and causes bigger and bigger potholes.
There you go.
Look at Synphany.
So I'm smart.
He sits in the front of class too.
I do.
Just want to say that.
So when the water gets into the cracks, it freezes, it expands. So over a season, expand, contraction, freeze, thaw. A little crack can be a giant pothole in no time. That's also why you get landslides in the spring. Because out west, it's rained, it snowed, the water has expanded. Now, once the water melts, it shrinks down, and it was holding the rocks when it was frozen. Now it doesn't have anything to hold it, and you get a landslide. It makes perfect sense.
Wow. See, I teach my son, I teach him this. The man that knows what always have a job. But the man that knows why gonna always be the boss. See, in science, if you want to be a boss, okay, like Dr. B over here, Dr. Baynes, y'all better get to the why things are happening, because that's truly where understanding lies, is why something happens, because you can explain it better, and science teaches you the why, but in a fun way. So you brought some things with you today. But
also, let me say this, that
yes,
through my career, before I started the company, I was a volunteer at the Carnegie Science Center in Pittsburgh. Okay? And I was doing demonstrations. And then I was waiting for a education job to open up so I could apply, get that job, do what I do at the Carnegie Science Center.
Right.
The job opened up. They weren't hiring nobody black. They didn't have a single black educator in that building except for me, who was at that time, volunteering.
Right.
That was another reason for starting this company, because we can't depend on the majority people at the institutions to do anything for us. We got to do it for ourselves.
That's right.
And we have to tell our own story, because if not, we're listening to his story or history that somebody else wrote instead of us.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Wow.
So, history that somebody else wrote. What I have here is a piece of metal. I want you to feel that. See how heavy it feels.
Ooh. You want to hold it, Synphany?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's heavy now. Okay.
I did not expect this.
It's
Most
heavy.
people don't.
And it's smooth.
It is very dense.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
First of all, how many planets in our solar system?
8? Is it 8 or 9?
It's 8.
It is 8.
It's 8.
Look at you.
Yes.
It's 8. Because it was 9, they kicked Pluto to the curb. So the reason they kicked Pluto to the curb is because, by definition, all planets have to be big enough to be round, so they have to have enough gravity to be round. And they also have to scribe out their own orbit around the sun.
Right.
Pluto doesn't. All of the planets go around the sun on a flat plane like the top of this desk. Pluto goes above and below the plane of the other ones.
Wow.
And it comes inside the orbit of Neptune and Uranus, so it's called a trans-Neptunian dwarf planet. So that's why they kicked it out. So we have 8 planets. In between Mars and Jupiter, there's the asteroid belt. So we have all of these asteroids. When they show pictures of them, they look like they're close together. They're not really close together.
Okay.
They're millions of miles apart. But years and years ago, 2 of them hit together.
Right.
And then one of them came and landed on the Earth 50,000 years ago and left a hole about a mile wide The hole is in Arizona. It's there now. It's called the Barringer Crater.
Okay.
This is a piece of the meteorite that made that hole. So this meteorite that you were touching is around 4.3 billion years old. This is from the beginning of the solar system. And this used to be floating in space between Jupiter and Mars, and now you were holding it in your hand. This is the kind of stuff that makes kids be like, wow, get them excited.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I'm a kid. I'm
because
excited.
it was there, and now it's here.
And we just touched it.
Yep.
And it's heavy.
And it is
heavy.
heavy.
I'm not going to forget that.
I mean, because it's making me think, it's giving me David and Goliath vibes, like the stone. Maybe the stones was that heavy because you get hit in the head with that.
Oh, yeah, it's over.
That's not like a little rock.
So let's think about this. The crater is a mile wide.
Right.
The thing that made the crater was about half a football field.
Ooh.
Okay?
Ooh.
The one that they think killed the dinosaurs was 6 miles wide of this same thing.
Okay. It makes
6 miles wide of this.
Yeah.
Ultra heavy.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
So to think that it would hit with enough force to put enough dust in the air to block out the sun makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Makes
Wow. See, our minds are like computers. We touch it, you can feel it, all your senses get engaged in it, and it makes it real. So y'all know Miss Good News and Synphany was right here holding something that old. Just know
That's
that.
right.
We're wise. No, I'm thankful. Okay, so the other thing is I am so excited to see your demonstration with this bottle. So
With
can
the
you
bottle.
explain to us about this demonstration? Because I'm excited. I really wish I had my nephew here, Synphany, because my nephew, I call him J Bean, but Jericho, he knows all about the solar system, and he is only 4 years old.
Wow.
I kid you not. And so he has to meet you.
Well, there's going to be jobs at NASA
Yes.
in the future for sure.
See?
But also, there are other companies, SpaceX, Blue Origins. They're the ones that sent their millionaires up into space.
Right.
They're going to need astronauts and people like that too. Because
Wow.
what Elon Musk wants to do is send people to Mars and start a colony. Yeah,
I can see that.
that's what he wants to do. So what we have here is a plastic juice bottle
Okay.
and a punch balloon. So these are one of those things where you blow it up and you stick a rubber band on the end and you bounce it like that.
Right.
So you see it's hold air, it's just a balloon. And I'm going to push the top of the balloon into the top of the bottle. And I'm going to pull the top of the balloon over the top of the bottle. Okay.
Okay, y'all.
Now, I want to blow air into the balloon. When I blow air into the balloon, what will happen to the balloon?
It'll blow up.
It should blow up.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I blew air in it, and then I put my hand over the top immediately so the air doesn't come out. What happens if I move my hand?
It goes away.
No, I'm saying if I move my hand, though.
What happens, Synphany? It's supposed to deflate.
So you can look in it and see that there's space. The balloon is being held open by the outside air pressure. Okay? And in order for me to do this, the air that was in the balloon had to go somewhere. Air has mass, it takes up space.
Okay.
So I had a little hole in the side of the balloon. That when I blew the balloon up, as the balloon expanded, the air came out the hole. Once I cover my finger, then I equalize the pressure, and the air stays in.
Oh.
So hold your hand out. Are you holding anything up?
Yes.
What?
Air.
How much air?
I don't know.
1 atmosphere. From sea level up to the top of the atmosphere is 14.7 pounds of air you are holding up right now. 14.7 pounds of air. So your body is used to pushing out against 14.7 pounds of air all the time.
Ah.
It's used to pushing out to go against air pressure.
Oh.
So when you and your family flew to Washington State, you were in an airplane with a pressurized cabin. They artificially push that 14.7 pounds on you. They have to, because if they don't, your body will push out against it and there's nothing there. You'll pop like a zit. So let's say we're watching a movie, Passenger 57.
Right.
Right? So they're in there fighting, shoot the gun, breaks the window.
Right.
What happens to the stuff in the plane?
It starts to sucked out. Yeah.
Listen to what you said. It starts getting sucked out. That's wrong. It doesn't get sucked out. It gets pushed out because the air pressure is in the plane, not on the outside of the plane. It gets pushed out until the hole is stopped up.
Oh.
So when Wesley Snipes shoots the gun and breaks the thing, stuff goes out because it's getting pushed out because inside the plane is air pressure.
Okay.
Also, anytime that happens, the first thing happens is the plane starts to go down. You see the pilots, the plane's going down because we are taught as pilots, as soon as you have a pressure cabin break, get below 12,000 feet as fast as you can because anything above 12,500 feet, there's not enough air to breathe. So you got to get below 12, then they always level out. Get below 12 so that now people can breathe. That's
Synphany.
why that happens.
I am smarter today than I was yesterday.
Yes.
You know what they say, today's price is not yesterday's price?
Yeah.
Today's knowledge is not yesterday's knowledge. I just leveled up.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to have to tell somebody that and feel really, really educated because I'm holding air. See? That's why we don't have time to stress because we have to hold air. I mean, who even knew that?
Back to our bottle.
We working all the time.
There's air in the bottle. The hole is right here.
Right.
When I blow the balloon up, the air is going to come out the hole. If I just let it out, the outside air pressure, goes in the hole, squeezes the balloon, air comes out.
Wow.
Now, by holding my finger, I'm not letting the outside air pressure go in here, so it's equalized. That's why it stays open.
Wow.
Now we have to apply that. How do I expand the air in the balloon without blowing air in the top?
I'm letting Synphany answer that one because I already look crazy at the other one.
More Mary McCheese. What you got? How do I expand the air in the balloon without blowing air in the top?
I don't know. You got this one.
The hint is that air takes up space.
Oh, you got to suck out the air of the bottle.
Suck out the air.
Boy.
Synphany, you might be... Oh, Synphany, you smart. Look. What in the world? Magic trick. Yeah. My children never gonna know. They gonna think I'm not gonna. I may not let them see this video. I don't know. No, we won't take credit, man. That's amazing.
All you need is a nice firm bottle with a hole in it.
I'm about to make one.
Oh my God.
Right. So if I teach teachers how to do this, this is high school physics.
Tell them how much that costs right there, because they worry about money sometimes. Yeah. $2 right there.
Something like that.
Science project.
And you can drink the juice.
And you can drink the juice. It's all usable. This is amazing, man. Like, what made you get into science? Like,
just because I was always wondering how things work. So my mom used to take me to the airport in Philadelphia all the time to watch the airplanes land and take off. So I was always fascinated about how something so big could take off and raise up off the ground. And it's really science called Bernoulli's principle. It's really simple.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm blown. I really love to learn. And
most people do. It's just that a lot of times science wasn't fun for them when they were in schools.
Right, right.
But if you can teach, when you teach the science, if you get the parents to understand, then they can help their kids understand. So that when they see something, when they look at the stars, they got a better understanding of what they're looking at.
Yes. Yes.
And unfortunately, we have a lot of light pollution around here. But if you go out in the country where there's no city, there you see a lot more stars.
Right.
And you could see on edge the Milky Way galaxy easily, just with your naked eye.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So what is that back
This
there?
thing over here.
Yeah, we see some kind of, I want to say a staff, but I know it's not. Looks like a bone.
Yep. So this is a bone.
It is a bone. Oh, it's a heavy bone.
So first of all, from the shape, what type of bone do you think it is?
I think a rib.
This is exactly a rib. Absolutely.
I love ribs.
He eats ribs a lot.
So, now think about this. If the rib is this big, what kind of animal might this come from?
Oh, that's a dinosaur.
No.
Oh, man.
What's
Also,
that big hairy thing?
Let me make you a mammoth.
Yes.
Let me make you aware of this. By definition, dinosaurs are land-dwelling reptiles. So you can't have a dinosaur that's in water. Because dinosaurs, by definition, are land-dwelling.
Okay.
So old animals, same age as the dinosaurs that were in water, they're not called dinosaurs. You can't call them dinosaurs because they weren't land-dwelling.
Okay.
This is from a whale.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
This is a whale rib.
Boy, Jonah got swallowed up.
But now keep this in mind. This whale rib was found in Mississippi, inland in Mississippi, near Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi is a couple 100 miles away from the coast.
Which means once upon a time, it was all water.
Once upon a time, it was underwater.
Wow.
Once upon a time, where we're sitting was underwater.
Wow.
You can see it easily in South Carolina. It's sand everywhere. 'Cause
Right.
It used to be underwater.
Right. Wow.
Right now, the Himalayan mountains are getting taller. Right there. One plate is over another one. It's pushing it up. The mountains are getting taller. So what a lot of people don't understand is that things change constantly, all the time, right?
Right.
So when we say, for example, we want to make America great again, we know what people are talking about when they say great again.
We
right?
definitely
They want to
do.
go back to the old days
Right.
when white folks were more in charge.
Right.
Okay, but everything changes. Nothing stays the same.
Right. Right.
So once people understand that nothing stays the same and things always change, they need to learn how to be more flexible. You know? So for both of you, today is the shortest day of your life. And then tomorrow will be shorter than the next day. But so tomorrow will be longer. The next day will be longer. The next day will be longer because the moon is moving away from us.
Symphony, you hear that?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So now think about this. If you see the Winter Olympics are coming up, you got the skaters skating. When they pull their hands in, do they move faster or slower? When they spin,
Oh, they move faster.
they move faster.
Right.
And if they put their hands out,
They go slower.
the moon used to be closer to us. That means the earth spun faster. As the moon moves away, the earth spins slower. So that means the days were shorter millions and millions of years ago than they are now.
Okay.
Which means millions of years from now, the days will be much longer than they are now. Because the moon is moving away from us.
That's why I be tired.
He said that's why I be Look, that's his excuse. He gonna tell his wife. You know what? The Dr. Baynes just said. You know what he said. This is why. This explains it all. But no, that's amazing because all of this stuff is thought provoking. It just
is.
makes you think about a lot of different stuff. A lot of different stuff.
See, it makes me want to get on my computer and just start researching all kinds of stuff.
Right. But this bone is. It's like a stone. What the world? I mean.
And my friends at the Museum of Natural History in Jackson, Mississippi gave it to me.
Wow.
It was sitting back in one of their rooms. They said, you can have it if you want.
And it's heavy.
Yeah.
Man, that bone look like a staff. It's amazing. I'm blown. But can you tell the people how to reach you, how to contact you?
How to reach me?
Yes.
Our website is interactivescienceprograms.org.
Right.
That's our website. They can call me at 304-639-7188. If they want me to come to their school or something.
Y'all
And
want him to come to your
email
school.
address is dbaynes, B-A-Y-N-E-S, at maeaonline.org.
Wow. That's
And if
amazing.
somebody has questions about anything, they can send them to the radio station, and I'll come on and answer them.
What would you tell young scientists right now? I mean, again, I have a nephew, and when I tell you, he talks about the stuff under the ground and volcanoes, and it's amazing. And his mind is just like, you can see lights going off in his head when he looks at it or learns about it. What would you tell young people who are interested in this, but it's not as common as music or something else? How would you tell them that
we could get their parents to find websites where they can do easy hands-on experiments in the home.
Okay, and y'all make
It
sure
is.
y'all tune in to WLJZ 107.1 FM.
Yes.
Y'all can find this video on YouTube, again at WLJZ 107.1 on YouTube, and then everything. Just tune in, tap in with Dr. Baynes. He has a lot to say, a lot of information. I'm telling y'all, I am wiser today than I was yesterday. I have learned a lot. I have learned a whole lot. So we thank you. Yes.
Thank you for inviting me.
Synphany, you have anything to say? Because I know you was excited about this too. He was like, make sure he bring a piece of the meteor. And
no, I'm just excited. I love science, but I'm just glad that he was able to come join us.
Yes.
And definitely, I want to do something in any way that we can help to make this program get a little further. We might have to revisit the whole camp that you had and all that stuff. So check us out, WLJZ1071.com. Listen to us on the radio, 1071, on your FM radio, iTunes, Apple Music. Tell Alexa, tune in to WLJZ.
Radio box, everything.
Yeah. So, just tap in because we're going to definitely do some more. And hopefully we'll be able to have some curriculums here at Livingstone College featuring Dr. Baynes.
Absolutely.
Coming soon. Y'all stay tuned.